Hello everyone. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves and are staying indoors. I am Kanika Tandon and this is my second video of class 4th maths. In my last video, we covered our exercise number 1A of chapter number 1, which was a review exercise. That means all the questions that I have given in the last video, you have already done those types of questions in your class 3rd. So it was just a review exercise, and the exercise which I will be covering today is also a part of the same chapter, that is exercise number 1B. So all the questions in exercise 1B you have studied in class 3rd. As homework, I asked you to do all the questions in your notebook and practice them well, and question number 8 and 9 in your fair notebook. I hope that all of you have done, and also the parents, they must have helped you in doing so. So in today's video I'll cover exercise number 1B. Though the questions are lengthy in this exercise, I'll try my best to explain you. So without taking any time, let's get started with exercise number 1B. Starting with our first question of exercise 1B, color to show the fractions. I hope you already know what fractions are. When a single part of a thing is divided into some parts. In first question, 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 simply represents half. So in order to color the half part, we have to see how many total parts are there in this figure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 parts, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So when we are asked to color half of them, that is, we'll cover we'll cover 2 part of the figure. Figure has 4 parts in total, so we'll color half. Similarly, in question number 2, 1 upon 3, how many total parts are there? 1, 2 and 3. So we'll just have to color one part. So it's your wish, you color any part of it. You color first one, second one or third one, but you have to make sure that you are coloring only one part. In 3 upon 4, how many total parts are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you'll have to color 3. Any 3 you can color. Question number D, 1 upon 2. In this also we have to cover half part of the figure. So in this, total quadrants are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. When they are asking to color half, we'll color 3 of them. And in question number E, 1 upon 3, we'll have to see how many total parts are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. They are asking us to color 1 upon 3. So what are the total numbers? 6. And coloring one part of it means we'll cover 2 parts. So 2, 1 upon 3. So we just have to color 2 quadrants like I have done. I hope it is clear. Coming to question number 2, write T if the fraction is shaded correctly. If not, write false. So they are asking, first question is 3 upon 7. So we'll have to make sure that the denominator shows the number of the parts. So in denominator it is 7. We'll have to make sure that in this figure 7 parts are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So total number is 7, and 3 parts we have to color. So they have shaded 1, 2 and 3. So it is true. Coming to B, let us count how many numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. They are asking to color 2 upon 3. So for 2 upon 3 they have colored 4. So if we see 4 they have colored, and total parts in a figure are 6. So if we divide it by 2 and this 3, so the fraction will be 2 upon 3, and this is the same fraction that is given here, so it is also true. Coming to C, how many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are asking 1 upon 4. So in order to make this statement, this figure true, we if they would have colored only one part of it, it must have been true. But since they are asking for 1 upon 4 and they have colored two parts of the figure, so it is false. Coming to the last one, how many total fractions, total number of parts are there in a figure? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And how many they have shaded? 4. So total part is 16 and they have shaded 4. So 4 4s are 16. 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4 is the fraction. Similarly here also they have written 1 upon 4. So this figure is shaded correctly and it is true. I hope this is clear to you all. Coming to the third question, write true or false for the statements in front of the statement. So first question is, the part of a line between 2 points is called a line segment, which is true. These are the 2 points that I have made and a line between them is called line segment. The opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. This is also true. If this is a rectangle, this side will be equal to this side and this side will be equal to this side. So the opposite sides of the rectangle are equal, while in a square all the sides are equal to each other. This is the difference between a rectangle and a square. A circle has only one side, which is false, because a circle has no sides and no edges. All the edges of a cube are equal. A cube is made up of squares. A figure like this. So since all the sides of a square is equal, so all the sides and all the edges of the cube are also equal. A cuboid has 6 faces, and a cuboid is a figure which is made up of rectangles like this. So it has 6 faces if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Alright, coming to 7th one, a cylinder has 2 curved faces and 1 flat face, which is false, because a cylinder has only 1 curved face. Coming to G, a brick is a cuboid. If you see a brick, it is rectangular in shape. So a cuboid is a brick is a cuboid, because cuboid is also made up of rectangular shape. And a marble is a cone, which is obviously false, because a marble can either be a rectangle, a square or a cone. So a marble can be a rectangle, a square, a circle or in any shape, but never in cone. Turning on the page and coming to question number 4, which is write the time, which is, I guess it is very easy for you to write. First is, the short needle is at 9 and the long needle is at 2, which means the time is 10 minutes past 9, which is 9:10. B, the short needle is at 4 and long needle is at 9 and the actual time is 3:45, which is 3:45. Coming to C, short needle is at 8 and long needle is at 3, which is 8:15, which is 8:15. Coming to D, short needle is at 2 and long needle is at 5, which is 25 minutes past 2, 2:25. And the last one is, short needle is at 11 and long needle is at 10, which means that there are only 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes the time will be 11 o'clock. So 10 minutes to 11, which is 10:50. I hope it is clear to you all. Coming to question number 5, fill in the blanks. In this question we are converting either hours into minutes, weeks into days into seconds, or anything. These are just conversions. So for that we have to do some calculations before filling in. So in my next slide, I have already done the solutions myself and it will be easy for you to understand. So coming to question number A, 50 paise is equals to how many rupee? So 1 rupee is equals to 100 paise. Therefore 50 paise is equals to 0.50 rupee, which means half a rupee. Coming to B, rupees 25.50 is equals to how many paise? So 1 rupee is equals to 100 paise. Therefore 25 rupee will be 2500 paise, 2500 paisa, and plus 0.50, which is 50 paise. So 2500 plus 50 will be 2550 paise. Coming to C, 4200 paisa is equals to how many rupees? So 1 rupee is equals to 100 paisa. 1 rupee is equals to 100 paisa. So 42 rupees will be 4200 divided by 100, which is equals to 42 rupee. And last one is 9875 paisa is equals to 9875 paisa is equals to 9875 divided by 100, which is 98.75. So we have 98 rupees and 75 paise. I hope it is clear to you all. Now coming to from questions E to R, it is in my next slide. E question, 2 hours is equals to how many minutes? So 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. That's why 2 hour is equals to 60 into 20, that is 120 minutes. F, 3 days is equals to how many hours? So 1 day is equals to 24 hours. That's why 3 days is equals to 24 into 3, which is 72 hours. 3 weeks is equals to how many days? 1 week is equals to 7 days. That's why 3 weeks is equals to 7 into 3. That is 21 days. Fourth, 4 months is equals to how many days? Here, one thing that you have to keep in your mind is, universally we use 1 month is equals to 30 days. I know that in some of our months there are 31 days, but universally we use only 30 days in calculations. If we are doing maths and if somebody asks how many days are there in a month, we say 30. But if someone is asking days about a particular in a particular month, which means if I'm asking you that how many days are there in January, so January has 31 days, you will say 31 days. And if some question comes that convert days into weeks in the month of January, so in January we use 31 days because in January there are 31 days. But universally if someone is asking how many days are there in a month, we use only 30. I hope it is clear to you all. So 1 month is equals to 30 days. 4 months is equals to 30 into 4, which is 120 days. I, 10 minutes is equals to how many seconds? So 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. 10 minutes is equals to 60 into 10, which is 600 seconds. 1 week is equals to how many hours? So in this, first we'll have to convert weeks into days and then days into hours. So for this, 1 week is equals to 7 days. So in a week there are 7 days. 1 day is equals to 24 hours. So in 7 days how many hours will be there? 7 days is equals to 24 into 7, which is 168 hours. Coming to question number K, 6 meters is equals to how many centimeters? So 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So 6 meters will be 6 into 100, which is 600 centimeter. Next, 700 centimeter is equals to how many meter? Since 100 centimeters are there in 1 meter, So 700 centimeter will be 700 divided by 100, which is 7 meter. Next, 5000 meters equals to how many kilometers? So 1 kilometer has 100 meters. So 5000 meters is equals to 5000 divided by 1000, which is 5 kilometers. This question is also the same, but in the last question we were dividing. In this question we will multiply, because in last question we were converting meter to kilometer, and in this we will convert kilometer to meter. So 9 kilometers equals to how many meters? 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. 9 kilometer is equals to 9 into 1000, which is 9000 meter. 7 kilogram is equals to how many gram? So 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 gram. 7 kilogram is equals to 7 into 1000, which is 7000 gram. 2000 gram is equals to how many kilogram? So 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 gram. 2000 gram is equals to 2000 divided by 1000, which is 2 kilogram. Second last question is 3000 milliliter is equals to how many liters? So kilogram, liter and kilometer, these are all same, because in 1 kilogram there are 1000 grams. In 1 kilometer is equals there are 1000 meter, and in 1 liter there are 1000 milliliter. So 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter, and 3000 milliliter is equals to 3000 divided by 1000, which is 3 liter. Last question of this last part of this question is 5 liter is equals to how many milliliter? So 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter, as we all know, and 5 liter is equals to 5 into 1000, which is 5000 milliliter. I guess this will be enough for you for today, and the rest of the exercises and the questions I'll be giving you in my next video. Till then, as homework, I would like you to complete the work that I have given in this video in your notebooks. And a better way to do these questions is if you do these all by yourself in your notebook and check from the solutions that I have given in the videos. Also, you can try question number 6 and 7, as they follow the same as in question number 6 they follow the same pattern, and question number 7 is all about addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and also the rest of them yourself, and check when I upload my next video. When I upload the solutions in my next video, you can check from that or from the answer sheet, and from your parents also. You can do your questions in your notebook and ask your parents to check it for you. And also you can ask your questions related to today's video in the comment section, so that we can solve them and talk about them in my next video. Till then, keep studying and keep yourselves safe from this virus. Thank you.